It really bugs me when people use age as an excuse not to do something, or even a reason. I mean, I'm not talking about situations where you have to be a certain age. For example, voting. I'm talking about when people in their early to mid-20s upwards start using their age as an excuse not to do something. I mean, for example, people in their 40s who say that they have to stay in their current job, even though they don't enjoy it, because they're too old to make a change. Don't use age as an excuse. It's not an excuse. Okay, you may have responsibilities, and those will take precedence over your job satisfaction. You may have children or other dependables on you, who depend on you to earn a living. You may not be in a position to do things because of your health or financially. And I mean, those are perfectly valid reasons not to do something. But it's got nothing to do with your age. Don't use it as an excuse. The reason you are wary and reluctant to make the change is because of these other factors, not age. And that's perfectly understandable. I mean, even though you're in a job that you may not particularly enjoy, there's nothing stopping you from looking for other things whilst you're still in that job. Why keep doing something you're not enjoying? Don't bitch and moan about something and then do nothing about it. It bugs me when people are like, I'm too old to do this, I'm too old to do that. I mean, we grew up in a society where people put things off and say, I'll do that later. And then you're too old to do it. The only person you're screwing over is yourself. And I'm not talking from a position where I follow the social pattern of finishing school at 18, going to university at 19, and finishing university either 3 years or 7 years later, depending on the degree you do. I didn't do as well as I wanted to do in my GCSEs or my first year of A-levels. With the results I got, I wouldn't get into the university I wanted to go to. I made the decision to go and restart and do my A-levels at international college in South Africa. I lived with my dad in Joburg. And I grafted and I did well in my A-levels. Came back to the UK, started university. I turned 21 in the first month. And yes, I used to be hard on myself and think, I'm old, I'm surrounded by 18-year-olds at university. And I used to think that I was an idiot because I was a mature student or it took me longer to get here, etc. Did I really miss out? Deciding to start over changed my whole attitude. In my head I thought, if I want to achieve something, it doesn't matter how long it takes or how old I am. If you truly want something, you will do everything it takes and spend as long as required to achieve it. And sometimes you'll work hard and your effort doesn't always pay off. Sometimes you fail. Shit happens. I mean, life's unfair. But it's up to you, regardless of your age, to decide whether you keep going or you give up. My grandpa was my role model, my mentor, my hero, and just my advisor. And he became the captain of the deep sea fishing team in South Africa and represented his country. So like the same thing in rugby, where you've got the captain of the South African Springbok team representing his country. That was what my grandpa did in deep sea fishing. And that was his goal when he was growing up. And when he was 40, he had achieved that goal. He was a captain of his country's deep sea fishing team. And he went all over the world and competed in that. Then there was the IT boom. And now this is a 40-year-old man, which a lot of people say, oh, he's 40, he's old. He got into SAP and grafted and became one of the best IT consultants. He was working in an industry where most of them are youngsters, and he's the oldest one there. And he can do the job better than these young punks. Did he ever use age as an excuse? Nah. He passed away just over a year ago now. And we still get phone calls at the house for companies headhunting him to work. He was 69 years old when he passed away. He was cheated of his retirement. And what I'm trying to say is, don't let age hinder or prevent you from doing the things you want to do. You know, I remember running my first half marathon. It was just after a holiday in South Africa. And it was in South Africa. And what really put a smile on my face was seeing an 88-year-old lady running this half marathon in the belting heat. And she was smiling and just kept moving. It was beautiful. And what really brings joy to me is seeing old people going out there, living lives, doing things, doing crazy shit, like standing on the wings of planes. I'm into CrossFit, and when you see these old 78-year-olds shifting tin, it's flipping awesome. I mean, but it's the same thing when you see little young kids doing it. You can see how much joy it brings them. So all I'm really trying to say is, don't use aging as an excuse. Don't take life too seriously. Nobody gets out alive anyway. And I just want to finish with a quote. Mark Twain once said that age is an issue of mind over matter. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. But with these negative stereotypes of aging in the media, it's hard not to associate growing older with nothing but aches and pains and feebleness and lack of freedom and mobility. But I just want to say, put your middle fingers up to all that negative shit. Regardless of what your age is, go out there, live your life, do what you want to do. You're never too old. Well, now that you heard me express my views, hopefully they've helped a few people out. Continue watching and check out some pretty awesome old people doing what they love and proving that age is just a number and you can do anything.
Finally achieving, no stage fright, I ain't freezing. Every moment I live life squeezing, and I'm sick on the track, got you sniffing, sneezing. Take your breath away, wheezing. Happy boy filled with glee, don't stop believing. Treat the track like a treadmill, keep running uphill. Incline, strategies real organized, realigned. Already told you music's on my mind. I'm moving forward, you ain't with me, you get left behind. Make mistakes till I'm master it. Put a brick in the wall, plaster it. Time that I've wasted, if I could replace it, would be sky high like spaceships. Now I realize every minute is paradise, so I'll make the most of every day in my life. My Grams taught me, be the best you can be. His advice to me was singular intensity. Focus on what you want most in life. You control your destiny, and when you meet a girl that supports you and all you do, loves you for you, make her your wife. Sometimes his advice came across harsh, but boy was it true. He always knew what was best for me and the family too. So here's what I'm gonna do. Gonna make my dreams a reality. Keep going higher, defy gravity. Make my Grams family proud of me. Underage drinking, what was I thinking? Wasn't really thinking. Life flashes before your eyes, got you blinking. Life too short, balls in your court. Fantasy to reality. You ought to. I'll be positive, I'll support you. Act, don't just let your dreams be a thought through. Do what you gotta do. You have one life. It's up to you.
You know, we're on this earth just a short while, and there's no use trading in your chips too early. You've got to stay in shape, You've got to stay motivated, and the thought of coming up here to ski is a greater motivation all by itself, because this is a wonderful activity for all ages. I think it's important to not to bite off more than you can chew. Start slowly. I think people get discouraged. They expect too much too soon, and then they quit and say, well, I can't ski like I used to. Well, maybe you'll never be able to ski like you used to, but you can still ski well enough to have fun.
This is my first video. Like, comment, subscribe, tweet, retweet, tell your friend to tell a friend who tells a friend, whatever. I mean, just spread some positivity. That's all I want to do. DBGB.